हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं कोसनपावृण सत्यधर्मय दृष्टये. I welcome everybody to the Swadhyaya Jnana Yagam program by Academy of Yoga and Oriental Studies, Bhubaneswar. Today we'll discuss about yoga and expansion of human capabilities. In other words, these are known as Yoga Siddhis. I am Indulata Das, Director, Academy of Yoga and Oriental Studies. Yoga is the science of conquering the mind. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Now, what are the vrittis of the chitta? Vritti literally means occupation. So, vrittis of the chitta are the occupations or activities of the chittas. In popular language, vrittis means the thoughts coming and going out of the mind. Yoga is to control over these vrittis. Now, chitta vritti nirodha is conquering the mind. Mind is conquered when the vrittis are absolutely under the control of the yogi. Why should the mind be conquered? Why should the vrittis of the chittas be controlled? Vrittis of the chitta be controlled? Because mind is the cause of bondage and liberation. Mind with vrittis causes bondage. Vrittiless mind leads to liberation. The Amrita Bindu Upanishad says, Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokhyayah bandhaya vishayasangi mukte nirvishayam snutam. Liberation is possible only by Chitta Vritti Nirodha. It is further elaborated by Amrita Bindu Upanishad, the same Upanishad. Jato nirvishaya sasya manosa muktirishyate tato nirvishayam nityam manaha karyam mumukhyunam. That means, since only the vrittiless mind leads to liberation, therefore those who aspire for liberation must thoroughly make their mind vrittiless. Vritti, to make the mind vrittiless, is a very long process. The process of making mind vrittiless is very lengthy, arduous, tedious, and also perilous. It is conquered gradually and step by step. With every step of concurrence, the yogi acquires new capabilities. From a simple man, he gradually proceeds to become a superman. He acquires capabilities which are not common to a common man. These capabilities are not additions but are innate in the yogi. These get unfolded by appropriate yogic practices. These capabilities are known as siddhis. Siddhis and sanjama. Most of the siddhis are acquired by application of sanjama. Now, what is sanjama? Sanjama is a technical name. It is a systematic practice of dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. It starts with dharana, goes to dhyana, and then to samadhi. And this samadhi is sampragyana samadhi or the lower samadhi. Samadhi is of two kinds, Sampragyana Samadhi and Asampragyana Samadhi. This is Sampragyana Samadhi where there is only one vritti, and Asampragyana Samadhi. In Asampragyana Samadhi, the mind is completely vrittiless. So what is dharana? To fix the mind at a particular point is dharana. Desabandha Chittasya dharana. Now what is dhyana? Continuity of dharana for a longer period is dhyana. Tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. Now what is samadhi? This is sampragyanta samadhi, lower samadhi. When the vrittis of the object only remains and the yogi almost forgets about his own presence. Tadevartha matra nirvasam swarupa shunyam iva samadhi. In samadhi, the mind is absolutely controlled and the yogi has the capability to keep one vritti, any vritti in his mind or make the mind vrittiless. When he keeps any vritti in the mind, it is sampragyana samadhi. When he makes the mind vrittiless, that is asampragyana samadhi. So all the three practices together, that means dharana, dhyana and samadhi, lower samadhi, practice together is known as sanjama. Trayam ekatra sanjama. Sanjama is not the only means to siddhis. Siddhis are also results of other practices. For example, practice of Jama and Niyama also leads to siddhis. Now, classification of capabilities are siddhis. Number 1, capability of knowledge. Number 2, capability of action. Number 3, other capabilities. Number 1, capability of knowledge or siddhis related to knowledge. Number 1, knowledge of the past and future. The yogi gets the knowledge of past and future of anything or any creature by applying sanjama on the three parinamas of anything or any creature. Parinamotraya Sanyamat Atita Anagata Jnanam. And the three parinamas are dharma parinama, lakshana parinama, and avastha parinama. Now I cannot elaborate these three parinamas now. In some other uh, video, I will discuss about the three parinamas. Number two, knowledge of the languages of all creatures by applying sanjama on word, meaning, and the knowledge. By applying sanjama separately on the word, the meaning and the knowledge, the yogi can get the knowledge of all the languages of all the creatures. Sabdartha pratyanam itaratara adhyasa sankarastat prabhibhaga sanjamat sarva bhuta ruta jnanam. Now, knowledge of the past life. By observing or applying sanjama on the latent impressions or sanskaras of a creature, he gets the knowledge of past life. Sanskara sakshat karanat purvajati jnanam. Any action that one does, it becomes sanskara and it remains in the mind or in the chitta. The yogi has to observe. The yogi has to study the impressions of his past lives, past impressions. Then he can know what was his status in his past life. Knowledge of others' mind. The yogi can have the knowledge of others' mind by concentrating on the vrittis. Pratyasa parachitta jnanam. Now, knowledge about death applies sanjama on the karmas which are fructifying and those which are yet to fructify, or by observing moments. Sopakramam nirupakramam cha karma tas sanjamad aparanta jnanam arishtebhyava. Just like we can understand, suppose somebody is doing a course of 2 years. He has completed 1 year. That means he 1 year is remaining. So also the yogi can concentrate on his chitta, and he can see how many karmas he has already worked out and how many karmas are yet to be consumed. So he can know the exact timing of his death, because we come to the world to consume our past actions. Now, knowledge of things which are subtle, obstructed, and at a long distance. Pravrutti aloka nyasa sukma vyavahita viprapushta jnana. Yogi gets the knowledge of subtle things like atoms, things obstructed by some agent, like wall, etc., things located at a great distance. So these siddhis are acquired when Jyotismati Pravrutti is aroused. There are four pravrittis, yogic pravrittis, which are aroused by the practice of yoga. One of them is Jyotismati pravritti. When Jyotismati pravritti is aroused, he can see subtle things, things obstructed things, and things which are at a long distance. Now, knowledge of all the worlds. The yogi gets complete knowledge of all the worlds of the universe by applying sanjama on the sun. Bhuvana Jnanam Surya Sanjama. Then he gets the knowledge about arrangement of stars. Yogi gets the knowledge of arrangement of all stars by applying sanjama on the moon. Chandra Tara Vyuha Jnanam. Now, knowledge of the movement of stars, how the stars are moving, by applying sanjama on the Dhruva star, Dhrube Tad Gati Jnanam. Then knowledge about the structure of the body, what are the organs inside our body. He can see these organs by applying sanjama on the navel area, Navi Chakra Kaya Vyuha Jnanam. Then we come to the second categories of siddhis. These are capabilities of action or action-related siddhis. Number one is strength. The yogi, by concentrating on creatures with strength, he acquires strength of that creature. Balesu hasti baladini. Then invisibility, he becomes invisible. He can become invisible. He practices sanjama on his body. Thereby he observes light. There is no reflection after that. No reflected light meets the viewer's eyes from his body. Then he is not visible to the viewer. Kaya rupa sanyama tad grahya sakti stambhe chakyuhu prakasa asamprajoge antardhyanam. He is free from hunger and thirst. He practices sanjama on the throat pit. Kanthakupe khit pipasa nivrutti. He can remain without food and drink, without food and water for days, months, and years together. Then he attains great stability of mind and body. Sanjama and Kurmanadi in the chest. He can remain in one position for days, months, or years. Kurmanadian Sanjam. He can sit at one position for months together without even moving the body. Now, he is not immersed in water. He is not drowned in water. He is untouched by mud, etc. Then he is not pricked by thorns. How? These capabilities are acquired by conquering Udana air in the body. Udana Jaya Jalapanka Kantaka Swasankaha Utkantischa. He has to apply Sanjama on the Udana air, and by doing so, he conquers the Udana air and he gets the capability to all these capabilities he gains. Then he gets an effulgent body, shining body. The body of the yogi is effulgent or shining. When the yogi conquers Sanjama air in his body, he develops effulgence. Samana Jaya Jalanam. He has to practice. He has to apply Sanjama on Samana air, then he gets an effulgent body. He can see the Siddhas. Siddha Purushas move in the subtle body, in their subtle bodies. Therefore, they are not visible to others. But the yogi can see them if he concentrates on the place called Vidruti or Muddha Jyoti. Muddha Jyoti is Siddha Darshanam. Then he can fly in the sky. The yogi applies Sanjama on the relation of the body with the sky and concentrating on the light things like cotton, etc. Kaya Kasaya Sanjama Sambandha Sanjama Laghu Tula Samapatescha Akasagamanam. He can move as fast as mind. This siddhi is called manojavitva, which means having the speed of the mind. This is gained when he has a complete control over his indriyas. Now he can take prana out of his body by conquering Udanayar. Udana Jaya Jalapanka Kantakadi Swasanga. He has to apply Sanjama and Udanayar, and he can take the prana out of his body. He can take mind out of his body. This is called the state of Mahavideha. Mahavideha Siddhi. In yogic parlance, Bahirakalpita Vrittir Mahavideha. He can go out, he can take his mind out of the body, not in imagination, but actually the mind goes out of the body and again comes back. He can assume many bodies simultaneously. The yogi can assume many bodies at the same time. For example, Lord Krishna lived with thousands of wives simultaneously. Maharshi Saubhari lived separately with 50 wives at the same time. Then the yogi can enter into another body. He can withdraw his prana at his sweet will and put it into another body. Bandha karana saithilya pachara samvedanacha chittasya parasariravesaha. Shankaracharya entered another body. Then yogi can elongate his lifespan. This is acquired by the practice of pranayama. He is the master of his own prana. He can hold prana as long as possible. He can live for centuries. Now he has control over his own death. This is a power of the yogi he acquires. This is a power the yogi acquires by the practice of pranayama. Bengali Baba had left his body and entered the same body after 4 days. The 8 supernormal powers. The yogi acquires the 8 supernormal powers by conquering 5 Mahabhutas. Tato animadi pradurbhava kaya sampa dharma anabhigatascha. The 8 Aishwarya are Anima Laghima Prapti Prakamya Mahima Tatha Ishitvam Cha Vasitvam Cha Tatha Kama Vasaita. Anima is power to become very small, Laghima is to become very light, Mahima makes the body very big, Prapti, by Prapti one can reach out to any place, by Prakamya, Prakamya means it is Ichha Anabhigata. He can do anything if he wants. Ishitva means mastery over others. Vasitva means capability to control others. Kama Vasaita means all his wishes come to an end. There is no wish remains. All his wishes are fulfilled. Now Kaya Sampasiddhi. By conquering 5 Mahabhutas, he becomes attractive, his body becomes attractive and Vajra like strong. He becomes attractive and Vajra like strong. Dharma Anabhigata Siddhi, unharmed by any Mahabhuta. There are 5 Mahabhutas, they have their respective nature, and their nature cannot harm the yogi. if he has dharma anabhigata siddhi. The earth cannot obstruct his movement, the water cannot drown or wet him, the fire cannot burn him, the air cannot dry or blow him, the sky cannot expose him. Now, this is Sarvajnata Siddhi. He becomes omniscience or knower of everything. The yogi knows everything. Now we come to the third power, third kind of powers. These are siddhis, other siddhis. Siddhis related to other matters. Number one, loss of animosity in his vicinity. This happens when a yogi is perfect in the practice of non-violence. No violence near his vicinity. Ahimsa pratishtayam tatsannidho vairatyagaha. When he perfects ahimsa, no creature near him can practice violence. Then his words are fruitful. Whatever he says has to happen. Satya pratishtayam kriya phalasrayatam. When he is perfect in the practice of satya, his words become true. Whatever he says has to happen. Best things of the world make a way to him. Astya pratishtayam sarva ratnopasthanam. When he is a master of astya, this is one of the yamas. He become all the best things of the world will come to him. Then gods come to him to honor. When the yogi advances a lot, a stage comes when gods come to honor him and offer him various enjoyments. But siddhis are not the goal of yoga, but they are rather considered as obstacles. Siddhis are considered as hindrances on the way of ultimate goal. Te samadha upasargaha vyuthana siddhaya. These siddhis are upasarga or hindrances on the way of samadhi. Samadhi means the final samadhi. Ete vigna mahasiddhe na rame tesu buddhiman. Yogatattva Upanishad says that these are obstacles on the way of greatest siddhi, the highest siddhi, that is liberation. Because the yogi is striving for liberation, not to get some supernormal powers. Therefore, the wise should not take interest in these siddhis. Yogi must avoid exhibition of these siddhis. He is advised by all the siddhas, by all great yogis, that he should not exhibit his siddhis. Na darshay so samartham jasya kasyapi yogirat. Jagatattva Upanishad says. They don't show your siddhis to anybody. The yogi should live like a very common man. Yatha mudha yatha muko yatha badhira baba tatha varteta lokasya so samarthasya guptaye. This is Yogatattva Upanishad. He should remain like a deaf, dumb, or like an idiot to conceal his capabilities. Siddhis are byproducts of yogic practices, but immaterial for yogi. His only aim is liberation, not anything else. Therefore, he attends the siddhis, but he should not be attached to these siddhis, or he should not exhibit his siddhis to the worldly persons, or he should not try to gain anything by showing these siddhis to or exhibiting these siddhis in the world. Thank you for listening to this lecture. I shall be happy if you have any questions or suggestions. You may write in the comment box. Thank you again.